Hi, welcome to another junior statistics video. In this video, we're chatting time series graphs. Now, a time series graph is simply a graph that displays the change in a quantity over a period of time. If you look at the example on the screen right now, we've got the petrol price index, which helps us determine what the price of petrol would be in New Zealand from 2001 to 2007. And we've measured that every 3 months, which is quarter of the year between 2001 and 2007, and you can see that the price of petrol is starting to get higher and higher over that time period. All right, well, we're going to look at an example and show you how to draw a time series graph. So here's the following data to draw a time series graph. This data is the food index. So we had petrol index, now this is food index, which basically helps us to determine the price of food. And we're starting in 1992 in March, and we're finishing in September of 1995. Right, well, here's what the time series graph looks like. On the x-axis, we have the time. Always put the time on the x-axis. Now, in this example, we're starting in March of 1992, and we're going up every 3 months. So March to June, June to September, September to December, December to the following March, which is the next year. When we go up every 3 months, we call that a quarter of a year, and in business, it's often referred to as quarters, business quarters. On the y-axis is the quantity, which is the food index. And there is a title on the graph, which we've hidden underneath the table. All right, so how do we plot these points? Well, can you see that in March of 1992, the food index was 100. Now, to explain what food index is, it basically means if you went into a shop and bought a whole lot of groceries, it would cost $100 at that time, right? Now, in June of 1992, if you went back into a shop and bought the same amount of same type of groceries, the food would only cost you $98. So it got a tiny bit cheaper. Now, we're going to carry on. In September of 1992, we go back in and buy the same groceries, and it would go up to 102, so a little bit more expensive. Now, as we plot these points, we're joining them up with a line. So we draw a line between each point. Okay, December of 1992, food prices got up to 110. Then we go to 1993, March of 1993, it's dropped back down to 101. We go to June of 1993, it stays at 101. And then we go to September of 1993, it just increases up to 107. And so on and so on and so on. Right, well, there's two things we can spot from this graph. The first thing is what we call the trend, the general trend of the graph. And I've drawn in this green line, which helps represent what the overall trend of the graph's doing. And if you can see what's happening, the green trend line is starting to increase slightly. Not by much, but it's starting to increase, which tells me that the price of food between 1992 and 1995 is slowly going up. If you've done work on relations and you've done work on gradients, at some stage you'll start to put that together and work out what the gradient of that line would be, and you'll be able to work out how steep it is and therefore what kind of rate it's increasing at. The other thing I've noticed, while I leave my trend line there, can you notice these three peaks? These three sort of peaks that pop out above the trend. Also notice that they all occur in the month of December, the December quarter. Now, that's interesting, but it's not that surprising that the price of food goes up at Christmas time. Everybody wants food around Christmas, so what do shops do? They put the prices up a little to make a bit more profit. All right, well, there's a quick discussion on time series graphs and a couple of key ideas about them. So thanks very much for watching.